What is going on? I'm Jeff, and this is the Kiesel Guitars live Q&A. We're going to be hanging out, talking about guitars today, and just having a good time. So here's your opportunity to ask me whatever you want. Go ahead and drop a question in the comments and let me know what is on your mind, or ask me something. So if you're new to these lives, thanks for joining. Typically, we have a deal of the live. We'll have a customer guitar, and I may have a little show and tell, and that's what I got going on today. So let's kick this off with my deal. So I have a deal of the live, and I'm like, Brandon, I'm having a hard time. I think I got to actually go back on the price.
I was going to say, I haven't pressed send on the email to the sales guys yet.
Yeah, we got to change the price. Fuck it. $14.99. It is what it is. So it's a partially flamed neck. I didn't realize it was partially flamed until I kind of saw it in the lighting behind me. So these are normally $15.99. We're going to go $14.99 on this one. It's in stock. It's ready to roll. Of course, it's got the Kyber backplate on there. Damn it, Brandon. Don't buy it. It's not a high enough price, so don't buy it at $14.99. Let me put it in stock and get like $19.99 for it. It's a 3A flame neck. I don't know if it's showing up on the camera at all.
You can see it,
but it's gorgeous. And then of course you got the Kyber backplate. This one has beryllium pickups in it, so kind of a cool vibe for this guitar. This I think is going to be an awesome couch guitar. I mean, obviously you could play a full live show with it. I love these things. They are amazing. Really stoked on it. And just the constant great feedback we're getting is just, it's overwhelming. So I'm super stoked. So if you don't have a Kyber, it's time to Kyber up. Give my guys a call, 858 Guitars, and grab that one at $14.99, or don't wait till it goes in stock at probably $2,100. I'm good with both. All right, so we have a customer guitar here, and I got to put my peepers on here to see who this is. This is Yazid. We have an estimated completion date of 11/24, which means, Brandon, we're early. Are we early on a custom guitar?
Almost 2 weeks.
2 weeks early. That's amazing. This is beautiful. Look at that. So you have an Aries, the original, the OG Aries. You have a Swamp Ash top. Looks like a Limba body. I don't know for sure because it's on the tag, but it looks like Limba from the grain pattern. It's all raw tone, and it's got an Evertune. 5-piece neck, maple purple heart. I want to show off a little bit of some of the changes we did for 2025. I feel like maybe some of that's been lost. So a lot of the models got a rear access bevel, which really allows your hand to get down into that pocket there and allows just for a lot better access. The neck heels got sloped and they got carved. So let's kind of put that at an angle so you can really see that. You know, keep in mind with an Evertune, these are thicker bodies. So this is going to be a little thicker than normal. On a non-Evertune, that's going to be even thinner. So a lot of times when you're looking at other guitar manufacturers and builders, they'll do a really great job at showing you straight on what their neck heel looks like. And then the moment you turn the guitar sideways, you realize how blocky and not really great access it actually has. So be looking at that. You know, when you're looking at custom guitar builders, there's a lot of great guitar builders out there that have great neck heels, but there are some that are very deceptive online. And I think we're almost deceptive in the wrong way. We're not showing you how great they are. So we need to do a little bit better job at that. But this is a beautiful build. Super classy, Royal Ebony fingerboard, black hardware, ebony backplate. Just a really dope guitar. It's going to be obviously something that's going to stay in tune really well with the Evertune. Could be a studio guitar. And I think that's a great combo of woods if it does have a black Limba body paired with that Swamp Ash top. It's definitely beautiful. So what we're doing today is I have a cart of guitars in various stages next to me, and I'm going to show some of these off. So we have a Kyber here with a burl maple top, And this has been pulled right out of the CNC machine. And what the guys are going to do is they're going to spend a lot of time hand sanding. This actually has some flame. Oh, what is going on with the flame today? Like, look at the body. Can you see that flaming?
You can see it a little bit.
Oh, it's crazy. So we got a black Limba body and then a burl maple top. This one has an estimated completion date of 12/19. It's for Brian McNamara, I think. Maybe I butchered your name, and I would never do that intentionally, so sorry if I did. So this is right out of the CNC machine. There's going to be a tremendous amount of hand sanding and detailing that's going to go into this. What's great about our CNC machines is the fact that they're all aircraft aluminum for our templates. They're not wood. You don't want your templates made out of wood. They will expand and contract as humidity changes, right? So you do not want that. These are top of the line CNCs. These are Haas CNC machines. It's the best money can buy for the type of work we do. Of course, you can spend more on some of the crazy CNC machines that do very intricate work like heart valves and things like that. It would be a total waste to use that to build a guitar. So what we're doing is the latest and greatest in CNC technology for woodworking and guitar building. But this is straight out of the machine. And my guys are going to, of course, hand detail this and get this spot on. Keep in mind, like, pickups are all drilled. The bridge, the posts, they're all done on the CNC. The neck recessing, even down to our paint hanger. These two little dots there, those are pilot holes for our paint hangers. The strap buttons are done on the CNC machine. Everything is on the machine. And what does that mean? That means 100% guaranteed accuracy every single time. Well, when I say 100%, it's down to 1/10,000th of an inch accuracy. So that's pulling your hair out of your head, splitting it 4 ways down the middle. That's the accuracy every single time. So pretty dope. Here's a badass flamed walnut Holdsworth. And this is a set neck construction. So the neck is built, the body is built, they get bonded in together. It's not something that's a bolt-on where you can remove it, and it doesn't run the full length of the instrument. So it has its own tone. Holdsworths are very cool. We still sell a lot of those. Here's a Kyber, and this is for David Warner. This is Robert Beals. And so David Warner's is estimated completion date of 12/18. This is Robert Beals 1/19. It's a Kyber. So this neck is right out of the CNC. You can see our double carbon fiber rods. And then what's cool is you see these other locating pins here. Those are going to correspond with pins that are in the fretboard. So we put the pin in here. It's a larger hole and then has a small hole that sticks out. There's a hole in the back of each fingerboard that lines up so we get the access perfect and the height perfect. So when we go to glue and bond these together in the clamps, there's no way that once it's got all that glue, when we go to clamp it, it can't shift at all. So guaranteed, you're going to have perfect intonation and it's going to be spot on. We don't want to do all the work of a CNC machine and then be, doing some questionable work as far as gluing fingerboards onto the actual neck itself. So it's that extra step, the attention to detail. See the beautiful volute on the back of the Kyber neck and headstock there, little mini headpiece, I should say. I think that's what we're actually coining it as a headpiece, because technically it's not a headstock, it is a headless, but it's still functional. You hang it right up on a hook. Also has that nice volute. Some players really like to have that, and it's kind of bridging the gap between headless and non-headless as far as feel-wise. This is for, I got to put my glasses on. Fucking hell. This is Takum. And this one we're actually late on. So this is 10/28, and we're probably late because this is a custom color. This has not been color sanded or buffed, and I'm glad Brandon grabbed this example. Brandon, you tell me, let me get the back of it so we have a lot of surface area. Tell me when it's at the worst, the most amount of orange peel. What angle?
Turn it back a little bit. Right there's
okay.
Not very good.
Okay, so I want you guys to look at that. That is not color sanded and not buffed. And look at the level of finish it already is at. That's very little orange peel. A lot of these other companies, when they're spraying guitars, they have drips, they have runs, they have huge buildup, they have so much orange peel. And I'm gonna tell you, whether you believe me or not, to do a finish like this, where it's nearly perfect, is a lot more work. And it starts at the base level. So we do the primer and we don't overclog the pores up with primer. We actually do 3 kind of medium to light coats. Most guitar companies use 4 heavy coats. The reason why we're able to do 3 medium to light coats is because we use a special wood sealer product to get the fine pores of the actual wood grain filled. The reason why the other companies aren't using it is that wood sealer is really expensive. It's $1,500 a gallon versus primer's about $70 a gallon, right? So there's a big price difference there. The reason why we do it the way we do is because we feel it does affect the tone and the quality of the instrument in a positive way by not having this really thick shell-like finish on your instrument. So some people will say our guitars sound different. They sound warmer. They sound just more resonant. And I do believe some of that is our finish process. It's in the neck, the stability of the neck and the sturdiness of the neck, the sturdiness of the joint between the neck and the body if it's a bolt-on. It's our neck streamers. It's a lot of things going on, but it's also our paint jobs too. You could think I'm full of shit and that's totally fine. I bet you can't hear the difference. A lot of us can, but you probably can't if you're one of those trash talkers, and that's okay. Not everybody's got good hearing to be able to hear that. Some people do have, like frequencies they're not hearing. So if you put it on a spectrum analyzer, you can actually see a lot of these differences. But I just wanted to show off this body for 2 reasons. One, you can see how great the clear coat already is. So that helps. And then it's also a custom color. So if you're thinking you want a custom color at some point, call my guys. We can match your car. We can match to other things. You can look up a Pantone chart and give us the Pantone color number, and we can do custom colors for you. Okay, moving along. Here is a Kyber, and this is for Alex. Alex Coates, he's a Kiesel artist. 11/24 is the estimated completion date on this. And look at how badass that is. It's got the sculpted body. You can see these deep scoops here. The thing about these scoops is, I'm telling you this, when you look at it on camera, it doesn't translate to how big these actual sculpts are on these guitars. And then when you see them in person, it's pretty mind-blowing. The attention to detail, the depth too, you can kind of see there. So when you do see them in person, it's quite a bit more dramatic and I think higher end looking. I really like the sculpted body. My personal headless Kyber is a sculpted body. And then we got another one here. This one is Packin. I don't think I can pronounce this last name. I'm gonna try here. All right, let's see here. We got Packin Ola Pericula. I don't know. I probably fucked that one all up, so I'm really sorry if I did butcher your last name. I'm trying. Looks like a Cali burst, and then we added a white burst around it. It looks badass. Oh, wow, look at that swamp ash. That's beautiful. Love how this looks. And this would be DC, right? Or is it a bevel delete? Yeah, DC 600. I was going to say a bevel delete a Aries, but we don't do a neck through version. I guess we do, but not bevel delete, right, Brandon? Do we do a bevel delete?
The Scott Carstairs.
No, 6-string though.
No, we don't do a 6-string bevel delete.
All right, so there we go. So it's got to be a DC. Beautiful though. Got a Floyd on this one, 3-piece neck. Love the way that swamp ash looks. Try to get it in that natural light there. Got this beautiful aura light behind me. And got some nice figuring in the maple there. So that's a little taste of some of the different guitars at the various stages of our custom shop. We have, I think our staff keeps evolving. We go through periods of time where you have someone that they could be so amazing, and then something happens and they leave and they go somewhere else. And then every time that's happened, I've been so fortunate here that the right person comes in. And just when you think, how do we do this without this person? Someone comes in and it's an improvement in some way or another. And you're just, we're just constantly blessed by having so many amazing, men and women coming into this company and really adding to the family and just pouring their heart and souls into these instruments. And it's a great thing to see. When I take people on tours, they're blown away by just how everybody gets along. And it's such a friendly family vibe here. And that's what we encourage. That's what I want. I want people to want to be here every day because I think it does make a difference when we're building your signature model, your dream guitar. I think it matters when people actually care. So on that note, what do you guys want to know?
First question. Can we get a CS6 with a P90 in the neck and a humbucker in the bridge?
It's something we can do for you. That would be a custom programming fee, but we could absolutely do that. Anytime we do custom programming like that, it's going to be something that's going to be prepaid and there's no returns. There's no trial period on it at all. If that's something you're interested in, give my guys a call. Speaking of calling my guys, we do have our Black Friday or Black November, I guess, promo in full effect. It's in full swing. It's going. Sales are popping. I do have to apologize. We had quite a big backlog last week, especially on Friday, where a lot of people were having trouble getting through. There was a little delay on, getting to everybody on the phone. So I am sorry about that. We have full staff here, our normal staff. We weren't short staffed at all. It's just, we had a lot of calls. So, when we do have like promos like this, especially during the month, if you guys are waiting and waiting and waiting and waiting because you think other things are going to be added or pop off, I don't have other additional items that are going to be added. Could we have some flash sales? Possibly, but those are very select to a few different things. What it does, though, is it gets a situation where you may need some extra assistance on your order. And if everybody's kind of waiting, like we saw this Friday, like it popped off like crazy, it can be a problem. You may not be able to get the help that you need. So I would definitely be working with the sales guys and getting your orders in, and as the orders come in, we start to back up. So, you may add 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 weeks to your build time by waiting to place an order. So that's just like a little heads up.
What wood would you pick for a wood 3-piece body for a roasted swamp ash body with a poplar burl top, reverse Cali burst blood red?
Ooh. I would probably do a walnut. I think that would be really cool. I think it's like a subtle layer that just looks really cool. Purple heart could look neat, but I don't know if the red and then the purple, I'd probably do a walnut. I think that'd be badass.
We got Justin Lubers in here.
What's up, Justin?
He says, does the thinner neck profile on a roasted flame neck reduce any stability? Putting in my Kyber with Flock next week and appreciate your input.
As always, brother. Yeah, no problem, man. Appreciate you. No, it's really not. I mean, the amount of thickness versus you already have such stability in the roasted necks, and then you have so much stability in the carbon fiber rods that we put in. I mean, you guys have probably seen some of our videos where people are trying to actually break the carbon fiber rods. They're holding them and they're just cranking on them. I mean, I can't get this neck. I'm cranking on it as hard as I can. And it's just, I barely can get the thing to move. You put a truss rod in there, put a fingerboard on there. This might even be a thin neck profile. It is not a thin neck profile, I don't think. No, it's not. But yeah, you're going to be totally fine. I mean, the difference is so minor in comparison to the overall thickness. When you think, the thinnest point is, around 9/10 of an inch, and then you're talking 30 thousandths of an inch. That's nothing. Yeah, I don't even know that we'd be able to measure the difference in stability. What happened is we just, when we were roasting the necks, and we've changed our machining process, and what we're doing now, like this neck has not, Brandon, you need to zoom in.
Yep.
This neck hasn't been sanded at all. We don't sand necks until we put the fingerboard on. And this is already so smooth. The reason why is we used to take the ball end mill and it would make a pass, move 50 thousandths of an inch, make another pass, 50, another pass. We're down to 15 thousandths of an inch, which means We're moving less than 1/3 the distance we used to move, make a pass, move, make a pass. Well, what did that do? It increased our production time on a neck by more than triple, right? So it's like 330% more to make a neck, to do the machining. But what that did is it gave us more consistencies to where we can offer things like thinner profiles, because what would happen is as we're sanding this down to get rid of the machining marks, it was easier to go through and the rods would pop through. So, we just had to limit it on roasted because the wood is pretty hard. And so because it's so hard, it can show the machining marks more. So by going with this new process, which again is a time, we're adding time to a build, right? And we're giving you guys a better product. It's a more consistent neck. So that's what we did. And that's why we were able to start offering thin neck profiles on roasting. We had to take it away. We offered it, had some issues, and then we were able to do it again because we're putting more time and energy into every single neck, every single guitar. We're going the opposite direction. A lot of companies are, they're dumbing down what they're giving you, and they're hitting a price point where we're saying, hey, we want to make the best guitars, period, at any price point. And we're trying to give you the features that maybe some other companies have had, but we're trying to improve even upon what they've done. And that's really been our motto for a long time.
Got another regular in here, Nick Kemp.
Nick Kemp.
He says, just got my Monster Burst A2. The finish is insane. Thank you, Jeff, for doing such an amazing job on all the guitars you do.
Oh, you're so welcome, brother. Yeah, when I am working on your guys' guitars, honest, I don't read any names. I really don't. I'm going to give you guys my 100%, whether you're someone like, Nick or Justin, there's a lot of you guys, John Gamrat, Mark Bondurant, there's so many of you guys that have bought so many guitars from us. And I appreciate you guys. You guys are amazing. You really are. And I am not going to look at your tag and go, oh man, that's Nick's guitar. I'm going to knock it out of the park for Nick. I don't, it doesn't matter whose name is on there. I don't know the name. It's somebody I've never heard of. It's their first Kiesel ever. I'm giving you my work. You're getting 100% from me. And so sometimes, my builds can take a little bit longer. I could be working on a new model. I could be, I don't want to work on a guitar today, and it's like you guys, you're creating something, you're creating some music, and I'm, I want to be inspired, excited, motivated. And so there's times where, I can go a couple weeks without working on something because of fill in the blank distractions. And so when you guys do get me, it's 100%. Always, no matter who it is, I always am going to give you guys my best. I think that's important. I think it's important for me to even, let people know, people that don't know, well, why should I get a Jeff finish? That would be why. I'm going to give you 100% every single time. Unless you're Brandon Ewing, and then it's like...
He's going to dunk it in the toilet before, we put the clear gloss on it.
Rub my balls on it.
Eric Brooking is asking, how is the supply of flame and quilted woods? Are you getting any more master grade?
What's up, Eric? I got your guitar done, a few weeks ago. So I don't know if you've gotten it yet, but I got that done a few weeks ago. So it should be, if it's not done, it's got to be really close. And I know you haven't got it because I haven't signed it because it's a K-Series. So it should be really close if it's not done. We're always working, my dad handles a lot of that, and we do have more exotic woods coming in. The problem we're having is, I look at flame tops. When we were carving before we were Kiesel, back to 2014, we used to charge $250 for a flame maple top, and then we would charge you $50 to deep triple step it if you wanted that. So it's $300. When we were Kiesel, I said, hey, I'm just going to do the DTS on everything standard. It's $250. What do I charge for a flame maple top today? It's still $250. That's changing. So we're going to see some price changing, for 2026 for sure. There's no way around it. I have to raise prices. I'm going to do the best I can to keep my base prices, as low as I possibly can. And then I have to get creative with some of my options that are really costing me a lot more money, like flame maple woods. I'm spending so much more on flame maple than I ever have, but yet I'm getting the same price I got in 2014. Actually, that's a lie. I'm getting less than I got in 2014 because it was $250 plus $50 for deep triple step. So I'm probably at about 2010 on my pricing for flame. So that's going to be going up. Anytime we put a top on, that's going to be going up. There's going to be some price increases, and I hate mentioning it. I hate talking about it, but I'm just trying to be as honest with you guys as possible. So if you're looking at getting a guitar, it's not going to get any better than right now. Waiting is absolutely, the prices are going to go up. We're not going to have as aggressive of promotions in December, and then prices are going up in January. And maybe I'm shooting myself in the foot for next year, but I just want to be open and honest with you guys.
What's the radius on the deal?
The deal should be at probably at 20. Yeah, it looks like a 20 to me. Yeah, I think it's a 20. I don't have a fret radius checker, but it looks like a 20. That's our standard on headless.
Poplar burl or burled maple with a select raspberry jam finish?
Oof. That's a hard one. I think it depends on the top itself. Both would look amazing. A safer bet for raspberry jam would probably be a quilt or a flame. The problem sometimes with like poplar or even burl maple, there can be some, oranges and some browns in there, and then it really affects the stains, and what color they're going to be. So that's a hard one.
Is HSH available for the Delos?
It is, yeah. I think you can get that on a Delos, right, Brandon?
We've for sure done it before, but I don't think it's on the builder.
Yeah, it'd be a call in.
Yeah. What wood would you recommend for the lightest weight headless Kyber?
Lightest weight headless Kyber. Okay, so we'd go roasted neck and roasted fingerboard. So that's our lightest neck and fingerboard. Then if you went with a swamp ash body, that's going to be your lightest body. Fixed bridge is going to be lighter. Non-covered pickups. I mean, if we're going down to every little detail, that's going to be it. And we've seen some builds as low as, I think the lowest was 4.3 pounds was the lightest that we saw.
That's about right. I was going to say, I think it might have even been a little lighter than that.
I had a Vader at one point that I ended up selling, but it was about 4.5 pounds. And I did more chambering on it, before we glued the top on. Like I chambered the shit out of it, and it was super light. It was badass. I sold it because it had I like tung oil necks, but it had a black limba neck, actually white limba at the time, when we used to offer white limba, and I didn't like the way the neck felt, the porosity of it. I'm a texture person. Like textures are a big deal to me. I have like some hangups with textures. I'm sure some of you guys are like that and can appreciate that. And I just don't like on the back of a neck when it doesn't feel, it needs to feel, it's going to sound weird, hard, soft, and smooth all at the same time. What I mean by soft is like it's got this density to it, but then it doesn't feel like a piece of metal. You can feel that it's like actually a piece of wood. And then of course the smoothness, that's the job of tung oiling. We go 1,000 grit sandpaper, then we buff the third and final coat in of tung oil on the necks. And that's what I prefer.
Would you ever consider offering a 7-string version of the M12 SD pickup?
You're the first person to ask me that. So I would say probably not. I think it'd be amazing. But with, being the first time I've ever been asked that, I would say probably not. I would definitely check out probably the Illusionist is going to be the closest to that. That'd be the one I'd probably check out. I mean, the Thorium is going to be a hotter pickup, more output. It's also going to have a similar tone if you were to lower it. Not get it as close. You could have a similar tone to the M12.
Any plans for a symmetrical V shape?
No plans for a symmetrical V. You know, we have our Ultra V we still do, but no plans for a symmetrical V.
All right, we're at 30 minutes, but we still got a decent amount of questions.
Yeah, let's
You
keep
wanna
it
do
rolling.
speed questions or just keep them normal?
Yeah, we could, whatever. I mean, maybe let's do a combination. Why don't we do 5 more normal and then we'll do like 10 speed?
Sounds good to me.
Cool.
Does the DC model take longer to build?
All neck throughs take longer to build, yes. Yeah, the neck throughs are definitely more labor intensive. And, you know, there's a delay because we're building the neck and then gluing body sides on. And then, you know, of course, shaping the body, sanding the body around an attached neck. And all the finish process, sanding it and buffing it, and painting it, everything is so much harder as a neck through. I think that's what we're going to see too. Some more of next year is neck throughs are going to be going up in price. You know, they take us a lot more time. You know, I can't, you know, we can't just take and absorb all the cost all the time, you know, right? We're really good. We held the line. I believe it was 24. We didn't have a single price increase, I think, in 24. And then I had one at the beginning of this year, gave you guys a lot of really cool features, the new fretwork too. You know, some things that maybe you guys don't know about, the new 5-ways, the Oaks Grigsby, Bourne's pots, you know, did a lot of really cool things for you guys, you know, to try to elevate the standard and just give you guys at any price point a totally pro instrument that could tour the US and world without any issues at all.
Is the Kyber headless body the same size as the regular Kyber?
It is, yeah. So what we did is we kept this exactly the same down here, and I just scooped all this out for the access to the tuners. Yeah, the idea for me on the Kyber was I wanted to have, of course, a newer, more aggressive look for the brand, for the company, and I wanted to have a really cool headstock to go with that, and then, of course, with the headless, you know, have some sort of a headpiece on that and solve some of the problems people were having. They wanted to hang them up. I mean, it sounds like not a big deal, but it is a really big deal. Just hang that guitar. I mean, I have mine hanging on a hook at home, and it does make it nice. And a lot of people appreciate that. A lot of people like the volute too. And volute's more than, you know, it's more than a comfort thing. It's, you know, it's also a strength thing too.
Is it possible to do your standard 2-color fades as a burst instead?
I would say it depends on what colors they are, potentially. I did a guitar for Sophie, and I posted it on the Instagram earlier today. You guys could check that out. It was like red, white, and blue. It was a concept that she wanted. You know, she's on tour, and they have a U.S. run that I believe starts on the 18th of this month and runs through the 20th of next month. So she'll be, you know, ripping on that new signature model. So that'd be cool. It was something that she did like a rendering of, and I just try to execute the best I can.
Do you think a Kyber Kiesel edition could work?
I think it'd be badass. Yeah. Yeah, we haven't done one of those. I think it'd be really cool. I think, you know, almost it makes more sense because the body is so thin that you're almost getting, in a way, more, I guess, bang for your buck because the top and back is a higher percentage of the overall instrument. And I think it could look really cool, especially when you look at it from like the sides. And you look at it, you know, if you had like the sculpted, you know, body, like the one over here, or you had a headless, I think it could look really cool. Yeah, I would definitely love to do one. I've got my list. I don't know exactly where I'm at on my list. So I need to get with my guys and check into where my wait list is at.
Here's a comment, not a question. I bought my first ever Kiesel, designed it online. I've wanted one since the Carbon catalogs in the 80s. I love my guitar. It looks and plays so good. Just wanted to say that here. Cheers.
Oh, that's so awesome. Yeah, I mean, I've had a lot of people, you know, talk about those old catalogs, and they were amazing. I mean, I still have a whole bunch of catalogs in my collection, and I like catalogs personally. I know I'm maybe not, the ideal demographic, as I am older at this point. But I love catalogs. I mean, I pick up catalogs and I look through things, and I think catalogs are really powerful. It's just we're in a society where they're so expensive. Mailing is so expensive, and I don't know if it makes sense to do anymore, because you guys are paying for the catalogs, right? I mean, yeah, we're giving them away for free and all that, but somebody's paying for it. And so we've done a lot of things to try and keep our costs down, to keep the guitars as affordable as possible. But, trade shows, magazine ads, catalogs, YouTube ads, all that stuff, you guys are paying for that. The company doesn't pay for that. You guys do. It's built into the price. So we do very little, and we count on you guys to do some cool things for us. Like just telling somebody, like, this example right here, I've been getting the catalog since the 80s. I bought a guitar, custom built it, and I love it. You should get one too. Like that type of thing. Just a simple Facebook post, tag us, share it with some other players, and maybe let somebody try your Kiesel for the first time if you're at a jam or something like that. And that stuff really helps. It helps us keep our costs down, and keeps the cost down to you guys.
All right, you ready for 10 speed questions?
10 speed questions. So what we're going to do right now while Brandon gets prepared, I'm going to try to do yes, no, maybe, or I might say a one-word answer. It does not mean your question sucks. It does not mean that I do not like you. So I'm just going to go as fast, and sometimes it's funny, and we have a good time. So strap in. Let's go.
Can you pick out the top for a fire finish?
Maybe.
Can you do a 37-inch headless bass?
No.
Are Onyx finishes call-in only?
I think so.
How thin is Kiesel's thin neck?
Thin. Not quite Ibanez Wizard, but thin.
Can we do a single pickup headless Delos?
Sure.
Do you like any non-guitar music?
Yes.
Left-handed 30-inch scale anytime soon?
Probably not.
Is it possible to get a solo model 7-string?
Call my guys.
What are your opinions on single pickup guitars?
Cool.
Can a tone knob be added to the Kyber?
Yes.
Can you do a glow-in-the-dark acrylic infusion?
Yes.
Have you ever considered doing wood inlays?
I have done them.
Could I send in my lab's baby teeth for inlays?
Ooh, I don't know about that one.
When are you guys getting more Kyber headlesses in stock?
Good luck on that one.
What's your estimated build time?
I don't know. I'm guessing 12 to 16 right now.
All right, last one. Mustard or ketchup on a hot dog?
Mustard, no ketchup. Most of the time it's too sweet. I'm trying to think of someone had one that I was gonna like go into detail on, and I fucking totally dropped it just now, Brandon. That's what happens when you get old. So I got tattooed 3 Tuesdays in a row, and at 7 hours yesterday, I was 7 hours of getting tattooed. I was squirming around like a little child, and I just told my buddy Alonzo, I'm like, okay, don't touch me. I'm done. Like, pencil down, like, leave me alone, man. And so I had to, bail on my tattoo appointment. I try to book these 9-hour sessions, 9 hours of actually getting tattooed, and I could not take it anymore yesterday. It was my ribs and then my lower part of my back right here, and I was done. I was raw beef, and that was it. And so I was supposed to get tattooed next Tuesday, and he's like, okay, we're gonna call that one. We're gonna let you have a 2-week break. So trying to finish my Star Wars stuff, but that'll be good because I'll be here for you guys. Yeah, thanks for hanging out. Thanks for watching. And as always, call my guys, get those builds in. I promise you, if you're waiting, you're just going to end up delaying a starting on your guitar, and then you're going to wait longer for it, and you may kick yourself. Maybe something gets added maybe on Friday, and you're like, oh shit, I could have saved $50 or something. Is $50 worth it? You might be adding 4 weeks to your build. That's something you got to ask yourself. Because as time goes on and we sell a high amount of guitars in November, the backlog gets more and more and more. And you might be kicking yourself going, I would have rather paid $50 to have my guitar a month earlier. So there's a little bit of that. We're not adding deals to the Black November promo. We're already maxed out. We're doing more than I even said I was going to do this year. We're already at the uncomfortable. So we're not going to be adding more. Again, we may see some flash sale Friday stuff, but beyond that, we're not adding any more to it. So get your builds in before we get backed up. And thanks for watching. We'll see you guys.